In the spring, at the time of year when kings go out to war, Israel's army marched into battle. Swords clashed, shields rose. The nation moved forward, under command. But their king stayed behind. David remained in Jerusalem, far from the battlefield, far from responsibility, far from where he was meant to be. One evening, as the sun dipped low in the sky, David rose from his rest and walked along the roof of his palace. From that rooftop, he saw something that would change everything. A woman bathing. She was beautiful, and David kept looking. He called for a servant. "Find out who she is." The answer came quickly. "She is Bathsheba, daughter of Eliam, wife of Uriah the Hittite." David knew exactly what that meant, but instead of turning away, he sent for her. Bathsheba was brought to the palace, and that night, David crossed a line he could never undo. Afterward, she returned home, but the silence didn't last. Days later, a message arrived. 3 simple words: "I am pregnant." Fear replaced pleasure. David began to plan. He sent word to the battlefield, "Send Uriah the Hittite to me." Uriah returned, loyal, disciplined, honorable. David welcomed him, asked about the war, and then told him, "Go home, rest." But Uriah did not go gate with the king's servants. The next morning, David asked him, "Why didn't you go home?" Uriah answered, "The ark of God and the armies of Israel are living in tents. My commander is in the open field. How can I go home to comfort and pleasure? I will not do such a thing." David tried again. He invited Uriah to dinner, gave him food, gave him wine, even made him drunk. But still, Uriah refused to go home. And then, David made a decision, a dark one. He wrote a letter to Joab, the army commander, sealed it, and placed it in Uriah's own hands. On the battlefield, Joab read the letter. The command was clear: place Uriah in the front lines, where the fighting is fiercest, then pull back, so he will be struck down. The battle began. Chaos erupted. Steel clashed. Arrows flew. And when the moment came, the army pulled back. Uriah stood alone. He fought bravely, but he fell. A messenger returned to David. The battle was fierce. Some men have died. Then he said, "Uriah the Hittite is dead." David replied calmly, "The sword devours one as well as another. Press the attack." When Bathsheba heard, she mourned her husband. She grieved. When her time of mourning ended, David brought her into his house. She became his wife, and she bore him a son. From the outside, it looked like everything was resolved. The secret was buried, the story rewritten. But heaven saw it differently. What David had done was evil in the sight of the Lord. Sin begins quietly, with a glance, a thought, a moment. But when we try to cover it, it doesn't disappear. It grows.